Well, welcome to Agape. We're all about love, the awareness and acceptance of our wholeness. Martin Luther King just basically brought that out. The love of God operating through the human heart. God loving itself, created as you, meaning God accepts you as you are. The whole idea of judgment is a man-made construct. Hell is a man-made construct. At Agape, we teach how to better self-love through conscious living. It all begins, it all ends with you. You can't love someone else any more than you love yourself. You can't love life or enjoy life until you love and enjoy yourself. And so we take the truths of all spirituality, psychology, philosophy, we teach them as a practical way of life so that you may have a more fulfilling and deep and wonderful experience of this life. And so with that, let's just take a moment and get settled. Just get quiet for a few moments before we begin today's talk. And so I invite you to just sit with me and take a deep breath in. And now let it out. Again, a deep breath in, hold it for a moment, and now fully exhale. And one more time, deep breath in, fully in, and let it go. Feel your body begin to relax. Just watch your thoughts move through your mind without attaching to any of them. The mind just thinks. It does thoughts without attaching to them. The mind has no power. So you're sitting here as awareness, as divine consciousness. And you're noticing. You notice that you have a body. You notice the sensations that your body is feeling as you scan your body from the top of your head to the tip of your toe. Don't judge them. Just notice the sensations. Now, notice the thoughts as they come in and as they go out. Just let them go. Don't hold on. Now, notice the emotions or the feelings that you're having right at this moment that may be associated with the body, may be associated with the mind. But don't be attached to them. Ask the question, who has this body? Who has this mind? Who is experiencing these emotions? Who's in there? That's the true you. That's consciousness. You are a point within infinite consciousness. And you've been given the gift of life. You've been given the gift of a body, a mind, and emotions to experience duality. What a gift it is. And you're probably saying to yourself, oh, I just wish it was always joyful. No, you don't. Because if all you knew was joy, you wouldn't know joy. Because there has to be contrast to know joy. So contrast is the blessing. It is the basis from which we experience this life. So just take a few moments where in prior times you might have looked on contrast as bad, as evil, as no good. But now you understand. You were given the gift of contrast so that you could experience, so bless it. Be grateful for it. And know that you can move through contrast by simply not attaching to it. Experience everything and then let it go. Experience everything and let it go. The secret to life is to be fully present in the moment, to experience it and let it go for the next moment. And so allow that clarity to go deep into your subconscious mind so that you can become more aware, more awake that you're not the body, the mind, and the emotions. Your spirit. consciousness, experiencing life through your body, mind, and emotions. And so having brought this into the deepest level of subconscious, start to bring your awareness back to this time, to this place, to this day, to your body. That's right. Gently start to wiggle your fingers, your toes, maybe stretch a little bit. And when you're ready, open your eyes, put a smile on your face, and welcome back to you. Welcome back to now. So today, I'm continuing my series on the Eightfold Path. I believe we're up to number 6. And number 6 is right effort. And right effort is about fueling your spiritual momentum. Right effort, contrary to what most people think, it's not about grinding or forcing your way through life. Right effort is about skillful, conscious, consistent energy. It is an inner discipline that fuels your transformation. My father would say, the reward for good work is more work. You want to work. You just force your way through it. You grind, buddy. You grind. And my father ground and he ground and he ground and he ground. Wasn't very happy. He never developed. He did develop consistency of grinding, but that's not what it was about. And so I really want to explore that with you so that you and I both can come together to understand that life is different. You see, right effort is the mental discipline to prevent unwholesome states from arising. It's there to abandon unwholesome states that have already arisen. It is then, once you've prevented and you've abandoned unwholesome states, it's about to cultivate wholesome states that are not yet present. And then to sustain and to strengthen wholesome states that have already arisen. So let's get a little bit clearer here. What's unwholesome? An unwholesome state is generally a state of greed, hatred, delusion, fear, doubt, envy, anything that closes the heart or clouds your perception. Do you walk around with a closed heart? Chances are yes. Why is your heart closed? Because you don't want to get hurt. And we've all been hurt, but we've not been taught that when the heart has a negative experience, don't hold on to it. Fully experience it, let it go, keep the heart open. A wholesome state is a state of clarity, compassion, joy, focus, equanimity. It's anything that opens you to truth and frees you from attachment. You see, all of our pain and all of our misery, all suffering, comes from our attachment to wanting life to be a certain way or attachment to wanting life not to be a certain way. Without the attachment to those two things, we'd have a pretty darn pleasant life, a fulfilling life. But our attachment, it causes us all our suffering. Right effort means becoming your own energy gatekeeper. You choose what you allow into your consciousness and what you feed. You've heard of the old story that there's a wolf, a good wolf on one shoulder, a bad wolf on the other shoulder. And the young man asked his grandfather, which wolf is going to be the one that I experience? The grandfather says, the one you feed. That's true too. Where are you putting your energy? Where you put your energy becomes your experience. Now there's a difference between effort versus willpower. Willpower is often ego-driven. Willpower will say, push through this no matter what. You can do it. Come on, Lee, don't be a sissy. It's like right now, for the last month, I've been fighting this. I have an infected molar in the back and I need a, a root canal. And I kept going back to my father, Lee, you don't need to get a root canal, just push through it. It'll heal itself. Well, I did all my spiritual voodoo. I did all the things I could. Guess what? I'm not going to push through this. I'm not going to have willpower to do that. I'm going to go take the easy route. I'm going to align my energy with truth and move from awareness and found a great holistic doctor who's going to take care of it for me. For me, that's right effort. Willpower would be struggling. So right effort's about aligning your energy with truth and move from awareness. Right effort isn't about how much you do, but how you do it. You see, you can do something that's the right thing to do, but how you do it, maybe with greed, how you do it maybe with envy, how you do it maybe with obligation, that's not going to generate what you want. That's not going to put you on the path to enlightenment, the path to balance, to equanimity. It's going to take you further and further away. How you do something is everything. Here are a few questions to reflect on. The first one is, am I pushing from fear or flowing from awareness? So much of everything we do is from fear. I can remember Tony Robbins saying that 90% of people are motivated by not experiencing pain. Few are motivated in the pursuit of pleasure. What are you? The pursuit of pain, or the avoidance of pain, or the pursuit of pleasure? What is pain? Pain all comes from fear. What is fear the opposite of? Fear is the opposite of love. Most definitely the opposite of love. When you're flowing, you're loving. What does flowing mean? Accepting everything. You're flowing when you accept everything. When you don't accept everything, you can't flow. You're going to get stuck on the branch. You're going to get stuck on a rock in the river. But when you're flowing, nothing stops you. Another question to reflect on, am I acting out of desperation or deliberate inner alignment? In life, there's no reason to be desperate. What does desperation do? Desperation becomes an energy. And when you start radiating an energy of desperation, everyone around you is going to know it, and it's not going to be good for you. You've got to come and align with that infinite divine nature. There are people out there right now that are desperate for a relationship. And do they radiate an energy? Yeah. And who wants to be with someone who's desperate? Not me. I would hope not you. Well, I don't have to worry about that. I've got a wife that's not desperate, thank God. You get to choose where you go and who you're with. So let's look at why most people get stuck. They get stuck because they try to fix outer circumstances without doing the inner work. Go back to relationships. Most people get out of a bad relationship, immediately enter into another one. What happens? That one turns just as bad as the one they just got out of. Why? They haven't done the work. They haven't changed who they are. They haven't changed their energy. They're desperate. You ever know that? There are desperate people out there in every walk of life. Doesn't matter what nationality, sexuality, anything. They're desperate. And they're working to change that outer world. And you can't. The outer world's going to be what the outer world is. The outer world is an effect of the inner world. If you understood that, you'd realize, okay, stop trying to change the world outside of me. Let me change the world inside of me. Why most people get stuck? They start strong, but they quit. They quit when the results don't come quickly. We are a generation of gotta have it now, immediate gratification. That's just not how life works. I was talking with a specialist in frequency medicine, and she told me that most disease is the result of things that have happened over the last decade, 2 or 3 decades. It's not something that happened immediately from something, unless it's a car accident or you fell and broke a bone or something like that. That's different. But disease, it's something that's finally coming out after a long period. So what do we do as humans? We want to recover by taking a pill immediately. It doesn't work that way. It takes time. It takes time for the body to do its healing work. It takes time to build the persona, the energy level, to be in a great relationship. It takes time to build the persona of living an abundant life. Is it worth taking the time? I think so. I'd rather take the time and not get stuck over and over and over again. People who get stuck avoid practices that challenge their comfort zones. Yeah, they want to be comfortable. And guess what? Where you're comfortable means it's what you know. If it's what you know, you're already living it. If you're already living it, you're getting the results of how you're living. So if you want a different life, guess what? You got to step outside your comfort zone. You got to move into the unknown, because that's where it's at. I don't care what you say. Fun is in the unknown. Fun is not in the known. If you ride a roller coaster 100 times in a row, it's not fun anymore. But you ride a new one, oh yeah, that's fun. So let's talk about the truth about effort. You don't get peace without training the mind. Here's what the mind is. The mind is this energy field that thinks thoughts. There's nothing you can do to stop the mind from thinking thoughts. It's going to think thoughts. It's pulling thoughts from your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind has stored every thought you've ever heard, everything you've ever witnessed, every memory. It's stored it there. And it's just going to bring them up. And what you end up doing is you got preferences. Preferences of what you want and preferences of what you don't want. And your mind is always going to bring that up. In order to be peaceful, you've got to train the mind that it's not the master, which means you don't attach to thoughts. You let them come in, you let them go out. Next, you don't get clarity without confronting your illusions. That's right. The illusion you're not enough, the illusion you're not smart enough, the illusion you don't have enough time, the illusion you don't have enough money, the illusion that you're not worthy of, those are illusions. You were created by the infinite, out of the infinite, unique. You were perfect being created. You're perfect right now. You've bought into the illusion that you're not. You've got to buy back into the illusion, not illusion, the truth that you are enough. Effort. You don't get freedom by avoiding the work. You get freedom from doing that. I know I'm about to start another business on the side, hypnosis business, elevated mind hypnosis. I've got everything pretty much set, except I don't have a website, and I've been putting it off. But then I got inspired on Monday, and I put about 2.5 hours in putting together all the content that I wanted to be on the website. Had it reworded, used ChatGPT to help me word it right and all of that. Gave it to my sister. She's a web developer. And when she put 2.5 to 3 hours in, we're probably 90% done. I stopped avoiding the work I needed to do. I've given all of that information to my sister, and now within the next day or so, the website will be complete. I didn't avoid the work. I did avoid the work. I didn't get it done. By doing the work, I've now got it done. You see, right effort is the antidote to spiritual laziness. Right effort builds momentum, and momentum builds mastery. Life is about building blocks, one on top of the other, on top of the other. And it's a momentum. It's not you put a block on, wait 5 years, put another block on. No. Every day you put a block on. So how do you live? How do you live a life with right effort? First, you start with morning intentionality. Begin each day with the commitment. What mental states will I nourish today? You ask yourself that. What mental states will I nourish today? What will I no longer tolerate in my field of awareness? I will not tolerate anyone putting me down. I will not tolerate anyone telling me I can't do something. I will not tolerate anyone putting boundaries around my life. Today, I made the decision, what will nourish me today? Number one, doing this talk with you, sharing my vision on this. What will nourish me today? Getting a root canal, getting rid of the brain fog that I've been experiencing for a while. What will nourish me today? Eating healthy, good food. I've already been to the gym. I've meditated. I did a meditation. I wrote a thought for the day. Everything I'm doing today, for the most part, I do waste a little time. I'm not perfect yet. There's always more, but I've done is nourishing me. The second thing into living right effort is mental hygiene. Be vigilant. The moment you sense anger, fear, jealousy creeping in, catch it. Don't let it take root. Awareness is your sword. That's right. You become aware. When you start having that negative feeling, man, catch it right then and say, oh, I'm not angry. I am the one having an experience of being angry. You notice the subtlety there? I'm not fearful. I am the one that is having an experience of fear. I'm trying to say is I'm not attaching fear to who I am. I'm simply saying it's an experience I'm having and I can choose not to have it. How to live right effort? Practice number 3. It's daily. It's daily practice of meditation, of breath work, mindful movement, spiritual reading. Make this one non-negotiable. This is how you train your inner world. You see, meditation is not about stopping your mind from thinking. You can't stop your mind from thinking. Meditation is about telling the mind it's not in control. You are. You will meditate every day at this time, no matter what, even when the mind says, no, let's do this. And trust me, the mind's going to try to do that to you. It does me every day. And every day, man, I'm down 5:25. Gene and I start every day. Every day we start our Wim Hof breathing followed by our meditation. I don't deviate. Even when she's not able to do it, I still do it. Next is audit your energy. Where are you leaking energy? That's right, leaking energy. Energy not focused on what you want. Is it social media? Is it being around negative people? Is it about worrying? Right effort is about getting rid of or plugging those leaks. You want your energy going to what you desire to be most important. We were having fun last night in our gathering, and I asked every person there, if you were single, what is the one thing you'd want to ask the person you were on your first date with? Everyone gave their answers. My answer was this: tell me the top 3 things you're interested in, because that'll tell me a lot about where that person is. And if they're into posting on social media, being a social influencer, that's not my energy. I'm not going to be a part of that. My energy is about becoming more aware. My energy is about teaching. My energy is about building deep, intimate relationships. Those are my top 3 things. My number 4 would be health and well-being. And my number 5 is being financially comfortable. That's where I put almost all my energy and those things that matter most to me. And do I still leak? Yeah, I have leakage of energy too. The 5th and final thing to live a life of right effort: celebrate your progress and your successes. Let me tell you, small wins count. You can create the most magnificent life by a little bitty win every single day. They stack on each other. A day, well, here's a great one: a day without reacting to a trigger. A moment of clarity. A deeper, focused breath. That's the fruit of effort. When you can acknowledge that, when you can acknowledge your small wins, can you acknowledge that today I wasn't triggered? Today that I had clarity? Oh my God, those are big things, because most people don't. Right effort leads to freedom. Why? Because you're no longer a slave to your old programming. You are now beginning to choose where your energy goes. Can you imagine living without being hijacked by every emotion you feel? Can you imagine having the strength to pause before reacting? Can you build a life where peace is your default, not chaos? Think about that. I would invite you to sit after this talk, close your eyes, and imagine, sense, and feel that you're not being hijacked by every emotion. Imagine, sense, and feel that you pause before reacting. Imagine, sense, and feel where peace is your default. And really anchor that feeling into your subconscious and watch your life change. Right effort is love in action. It says, I love myself enough to do the work. I care about my consciousness enough to protect it. I honor my divine potential enough to stop wasting time. Time is your most valuable resource. Why would you ever waste it? So daily ask yourself, what are you feeding with your energy? What are you nurturing with your mind? Are you living with discipline or drifting with distraction? Knowing you've asked those questions, how do you begin? You start small. You can't start big, you start small with little things. You become consistent. Consistency is key. And right effort compounds over time. Always, the Japanese have a concept called kaizen. And that means one little improvement each and every day. And at the end of the year, the improvement that you will measure will be exponential. But it's constant improvement every day. Can you become a little bit more every day? Can you react a little less each and every day? This is how you reclaim your power. One step, one small step, consistently over time. You see, the true spiritual warrior knows that you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be focused and be consistent. Why not step into your warrior's clothes? And starting right now, you choose where you put your energy. You choose where you put your effort, and stop the leakage and reclaim your power. And when you do that, you reclaim your life and your freedom. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to know more about Agape, go to agapespiritualcenter.com. Sign up for the daily thought and weekly newsletter. This way you'll understand all the things that we offer. And while you're there, check the calendar out and see all the things that we offer. Most of them are online. Everyone can be a participant. And if this message touched you, make a donation. In fact, become an automated giver. Anyone giving $200 a month automated gets all of my classes in the year for free. Anyone giving $100 automated gets all of the classes I do in a year for half price. I want to make this center a give and receive center. So you give and I give, we both benefit. We're living in collaboration. I believe that's the only way to live. I don't believe in competitiveness. I believe in collaboration in all relationships. And with that, I'm glad you were with me. Tell me about your successes. Share this video. Write me on how you're going to implement it. And if you've got challenges with it, let me know. I'll answer them. I promise you, it's what I've dedicated my life to. And with that,